Recording. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are live after 5 a.m. Period 1. Working on our tri-ticket app part 2. Okay. Does everybody remember how I treat my GUI? What is my GUI for me when I'm coding? What is it for me? It is my checklist, okay? So let's go back through code real quick and let's figure out what is working. We have our variables set up. The BTN student barcode is working. The scanner is working. The enter button is working, okay? So you're going to enter in a password. You're going to see what the password is they typed in. You're going to see if it equals to the PSW password authentication code. If it does, then the horizontal arrangement for the team and the horizontal arrangement for the count become visible. And now inside of that horizontal arrangement, we have those buttons where we can click and add buttons. Okay? So if they don't enter in this passcode, they don't get any of this down here. Thumbs up on that? We good? Do you understand that? So let's go out. Let's go back. Let's figure out what else was. So that's screen 1. So it looks like here we have the spinner. We can select a team name. And it looks like over here we can figure out the number of tickets. Okay? So that looks like it's it. So let's go back to our checklist. Student ID works, teacher ID works, the password authentication code works. You can select a team name and you can select number of tickets. So what does not work? This enabled button does not work, right? This BTN counting button right here does not work, where we could add tickets to it. And none of these buttons across the bottom work. The submit button doesn't work. So we got to get all 6 of these things to work today. Thumbs up if you're with me on that. Okay? I didn't get every thumb up. Thumbs up if you're with me on that. Who understands what we're doing? Okay? So we got to get the enabled button to work. All right? Here we go. Enable button. Let's go through our list. There it is. Checkbox enabled. When it changes states. What does that mean? That means you can click it, unclick it. You can click it and you can unclick it. So every time you click or unclick, you have to figure out which state it's in. And then you have to do something, whatever you want to do, when it's checked or when it's not checked. Okay? So when the state changes, we're going to do an if statement. If, logically, okay, so we're going to go down here and we're going to say if let me look through here. Dot, 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 dot. So if checked equals true. This is logic. Does that make sense? That's telling me right now if it's checked. Okay, or we could do this if it's false. So if it's false, is it checked? Darling? No, it's not checked, right? So it's just like a light switch. The light switch is either on or off. And you have to figure out which state we're in. Okay? Does that make sense? So if it's checked, then what do you want to do? If it's not checked, what do you want to do? Okay? Well, I'm going to say that if it's not checked, then the app's not enabled. So I'm going to turn off like all these buttons so that you can't give them tickets. Okay? So like this BTN count. We want to disable it. So there it is. Set enabled to BTN count. And I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to set it to false. Okay. What else is in here? Oh, those are all buttons. Don't want that. So what else do I want? Spinner number of tickets. I don't want it to work. So let's go see if we can go through here and turn this thing off. I don't really see an enabled in here, do you? So it looks like spinners, you can enable them and disable them. But what could we do? We could make it visible and not visible. If it's not visible, could you give them tickets? No. So my idea here is, since that it's not enabled or disabled, let's set its visible to false. Okay. And then I'm going to do another else if here inside of my if statement. And I'm going to be able to change this, okay? I'm going to change all this. If checked is equal to true, what should happen for these two things? Anybody? For candy? Sir? Go ahead. What should happen to these two if I set this part to true? Yeah. Right. They're going to activate or become visible. Perfect. Go get yourself a piece of candy. Okay. He's exactly right. So all you're going to do is duplicate this. Duplicate this one, right? And you say, okay, I want you to activate, good word. I want you to activate or become visible. Now I can use these buttons. Cha-ching, boom, done. This is what we call logic, okay? And this is Boolean logic. Boolean logic is true or false. Booleans can be either true or false, okay? True or false, okay? Itzel is here today. True or false? What? True. She's here today, right? So that's true. Okay? True or false? Someone is sitting to the right of Alana. False. Okay? The answer is either true or false. Are you with me? That is called Boolean. Okay? This is Boolean logic here. Let's go see if I can add a comment. Yeah, I can add a comment. Okay? So you go to comment and you say, this is Boolean logic. Okay? Booleans, okay? B-O-O-L-E-A-N. You ever heard of like Boolean soup? Bouillon. This is close to it. Sounds like it, but it's not. It's Boolean. Booleans can have a value of either, this is a test question, true or false. Okay? And by the way, that's how you do a comment. So you just click on it, right click, you remove comment, add comment. Okay? So you guys understand what Boolean logic is. Thumbs up, you understand Boolean logic. Okay, somebody pose a true or false question for me. Ask me. True or false. Or candy. True. That is true. Okay? Did you guys hear that question? True or false? Are you wearing a headset? Yes, I am. True. All right. True or false? I look awesome in this headset. True, thank you. That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought I did too. Yeah, I look cool in this headset. Okay. Any questions about true or false? It's just like turning a light switch on and off, right? So when we hit this little checkbox here, this is going to go away. This is going to go away, right? Or disable. You know what we should do also? Is that if you can't give them questions, then you can't submit. You can't hit the submit button either. Could we do that? Yeah, let's do that. So let's add that in there, okay? Let's go to the submit button. Guess what? Submit button, if it's false, guess what? You cannot submit. Submit button doesn't work. If it is checked true, then the submit button works. Okay? You guys ever filled out a form online and like you forgot to add in your zip code or something and they don't let you hit submit? That's what they're doing right there. That's all it is. True or false logic. Was that hard to do? Was it? Who thought that was pretty difficult? Who didn't think that was that hard? Okay. It's not that hard when you just think through piece by piece, problem decomposition, break it down into small chunks. What do you want to happen? Chandler. The BTN count button is this guy right here with the big plus sign. This is going back to the original Count Me In app, where all they wanted you to do was hit a button and add to your ticket counter. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to hit a button and add to it. All right, you with me on that? It's very deathly simple. To be honest with you, if this was our real tribe ticket app, I probably wouldn't have that in there. I would probably just have the spinner and you select the number of tickets and be done. And if you can't select the number of right tickets, then you're a bonehead and you got to be able to select your number of right tickets. Are you with me? Okay. So if I didn't have that button in there, probably what I would do is go back to my spinner of number tickets, right? And I would probably go 1 to 50 and list them all. Are you with me on that? So what this button is doing right now is, let's say you had in your spinner, you had 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Well, then what this button would allow us to do is say, hey, I want to give them 7 tickets, select the 5 and add 2 to it. Are you with me on that? You with me on that? So to me, this is, I don't know, I'm just showing you stuff here because we're in a beginning course and I'm showing you how to do different techniques. Okay, if I was really doing this app, I'm not sure I would have that button in there, but this goes back to really the original Count Me In app. Okay, good question. All right, so you ready to work on that button right now? So let's go get this add button to work. Okay, so when you click on the BTN count, when you click on it, now, we have to assume that they could have already selected a ticket from the number of tickets from the spinner. Are you with me on that? So what you're going to do is you're going to go back and get this variable up here. Let's go back to where we selected number of tickets. Where is it at? Right here, okay? So see here where we set the number of tickets to the selection? Well, now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and do some math with those number of tickets, okay? So you go to math, and I want to do this first. So this is our number of tickets we're going to deal with. We don't want that. Now we can go and do math. Which math problem in here do you think we ought to select? I'm adding tickets. Which one do you think we ought to select out of here? Yes, ma'am. The addition. Go get yourself a piece of candy. Was that hard? So if you can tell yourself what you want to do, you can go look for it and find what you want to do. Okay. Hey, I want to do math here. I want to add. Okay. So now you're going to take the number of tickets and watch this. Okay. You got to go to variables here. Oh, there it is right there. I can copy this one. So I can get the number of tickets and add a number to it. What number am I going to add to it? I'm going to go get a 0. Oh, you see that garbage can was trying to eat me? See that? Did you guys see that? Garbage can is trying to eat me. Ah! See that? Crazy garbage can. Not time to eat yet. I want to put a 0 in there, and I want to change that 0 to a 1. Okay? And then every time you add to it, you want to just do what we did right here and display it in your label. Okay? Go ahead and display it in your label. I don't need that comment, so I'm going to remove it. Okay? And that's it. That's how you added 1. This is why we're really doing the Tribe Ticket app, because if we would have done the Count Me In app, we would have basically put this block in there and been finished. This would have been like the whole Count Me In app. This was like 75% of the code right there. So you can see that's a very simple app, and I'm glad we're doing the Tribe Ticket app, something a little bit more complex. Takes a little bit more thought. Okay? So you see what I did here? btn count.click. When I click on my count button, I'm going to take my number of ticket variables and add to that number of ticket variables 1. So if you were at 5, Curtis, right? If you're at 5, Curtis, and you add 1 to it, where are you going to? 6, okay? And now, Curtis, if you're at 6 and you add 1 to it, what are you going to? If you are at now 7 and you add 1 to it, where are you going? Are you getting this pattern here? You take the number of tickets that you have, you then take those number of tickets that you have and add 1 to it, and now you get a new number of tickets in memory. Thumbs up. You understand what I just did? Darlene, you with me? Can I get a whoop whoop? She gave me the head shake. That was a head shaker. That would be, my name is no. My sign is no. My number is no. You need to let it go. You need to let it go. Who sings that song? Megan Trainer. I like her. All right, what's next on the list? Who's with me so far? How are we doing on this? So, does our enable button work now? Yes. We need to go test it, right? We need to test it on our app, on our device, but it should work. Does this button work? Yeah. Are all these working? Should be. Oh, what about our total button? Uh-oh, I forgot something here. The total button's not working, okay? So when you add to your tickets, are you adding to your total amount? Who thinks you are? If I give you tickets, are you adding to your total amount? So Alana, if you have $5 in your wallet and I give you 2 of them, are you going to add those $2 to your 5? Yeah. So right here, I forgot something. What did I not add to? What should I also be adding to? So I'm going to come down here. This should also be adding to my total tickets. And then right here, duplicate this. Whoa. Whoa. This should be, there it is, LBL total. This should be total, and this should be total. Okay, all you gotta do is do a little bit of switching around there. Change it from the number of tickets to also the total tickets. By the way, did we do that up here? When you added tickets from the spinner, did we add to the total? I don't think we did. So we need to duplicate all this total ticketing right here, and we need to bring this back up here. So you have to really think about that stuff. Do you see how I started just thinking about the total? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, we didn't do the total over here. So as a programmer, you have to think about that. Okay. So now our total button's working. Now what's next? Reset. You guys ready to do the reset button? Yes, ma'am. You don't have what? The submit button? Enter? Where's enter at? Oh, this enter button? Yeah, I figured out we needed the enter button. We didn't talk about the enter button? So when you enter in a password, you got to do something to get it to be activated. Are you with me? You got to check it with something, right? So when you enter a password, you have to. We need that button to activate it, to check it, to see if it works. So you need to put an enter button in there. As I got into this app, we started thinking about that. Okay. Actually, one of my students from last year pulled up the app we did last year, and we started looking at it and comparing it, and we had forgotten that enter button. So yeah, you're going to need an enter button. The enter button, it's like the gate, right? Okay, so make sure you put an enter button in there, because that's what's going to activate your password to see and check to see if it's correct. Okay, cool. If you don't have one, go back and add one. Shouldn't take you that long to throw a button in there. You with me? I didn't do a whole lot to it. I just put enter on it, and I made it red, made it open. If you want to go out online and get an image, go ahead. But maybe put like a key in there. That'd be cool. Like a key, like an lock key. Or maybe you could do like unlock, like have an unlock lock, where you open the lock or something. That's the thing about mobile apps, you know. If you miss something in the design phase, what should you do? Should we just ignore it and say, oh yeah, we forgot it? What should we do, Gabby? Yeah, you got to put it back in there, you know, and just, our brains are not perfect when we're in the design phase, and when you get into actually needing it and using it, okay, and then you realize, hey, we need an unlock button here, an enter button, then you put it back in there. You can't ignore it, okay? This is called dynamic programming, where when you're programming, you realize you need something, then go back and put it in. Okay, so let's get the reset button to work and work on these 4 buttons here. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. Okay, so now I want to go to BTN reset. Click. What should happen when you hit the reset button? Itzel said it resets. I heard her lip sync that. You're right, Itzel, it resets. Resets what? Break it down though. Decomposition it. Break it down into small parts. Reset what? But role play it. When you hit that button, what imagine in your brain what's going to happen? Reset what? It's cell, reset what? What do I want to reset? The what? The what? The number of tickets. Very good. And what should the number of tickets go to? Reset it back to 0. Very good. Whoever said that, go get candy. It's go get a piece of candy. Whoever said 0, go get a piece of candy. Who said it? Okay, you said it. Go get a piece of candy. If you both said it, both go get a piece of candy. It's fine. You reset the number of tickets back to 0. Who got that? Anybody else say that in your brain without saying it out loud? Because you were shy and didn't want to be right or wrong? Guys, quit being right or wrong. It doesn't matter. Yeah? If you're wrong, who cares? What's the big deal? Right? We'll figure stuff out. So all I'm going to do is take my... Basically, I'm just going to grab these two right here. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab this whole block. See all this? Because it's dealing with the number of tickets. I'm going to grab all the insides out. But guess what? I'm not going to be adding anymore, right? Yes, I want to delete those blocks. I'm not going to be adding anymore. What am I going to set it mathematically to? Who said 0? What am I going to be setting it to? 0. So where is 0 sitting at? Right there. Go back to your math block. Set that to 0. Boom. Done. Now, quick tip here. Let me put in a comment. Add comment. Okay? Remember to always display your numticks and total in your labels. Okay? I had students like last year when we were doing, not two years ago when I was doing game programming, right? We would be playing a video game, right? Let's say Pac-Man. The player would reset the score equals 0, but then when they started the game, the score was still up there, 7,350. Even though in code they set the score to 0, but guess what? They did not display it. Are you with me on that? So you need to make sure every time you reset scores and totals, you see how I have this little green block, this little green set block in here, and I'm putting it into my labels. This is that LBL num ticket, this is that LBL total. Every time you do something with the score, you need to display it. Okay? Just like in Pac-Man, when you have the number of lives. You guys ever played Pac-Man before? Remember you have the number of Pac-Mans down at the bottom? You have like 3 of them sitting there, or 2 of them. I think you have 3 lives, right? You have 2 of them sitting down there. Okay? Well, guess what? You could change it in memory, but not change it on the display. So you got to make sure when you change it in memory, you change it on display, and vice versa. When you change it on display, you change it in memory. Okay? You guys got that? Thumbs up? Can you guys promise me you're going to do that? Every time you change it in memory. So the gold is changing in the orange right here. I'm changing this in memory. But guess what? If I would leave this block out right here, if I would leave this little block out right here, it's changed in memory, but the number of tickets is still going to remain the number of tickets, like 5, because you didn't change it. Okay? So you have to make sure when you set it in memory. Okay? All right, let's go see where we're at. Reset button's done. Voice. Have we done voice before? Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some voice again. BTN voice recognition. BTN voice, click. When you call it, you want to go call your speech recognizer, tell it to get some text. After you're done, finished talking, okay, you want to figure out what text they are, what text they said. So now you need an if. Okay, what are we doing? What are you doing? What? Okay. I can print this out here, and I can give you tomorrow to catch up on this, all right? So remember, we did this already, right? We did this in the first app. We need a logical if statement. Where's it at? There it is, my equal sign. I overlooked it, okay? So I'm going to say, okay, get the result. And now we need to put in a text box to figure out what they said. What are some things they could say in this app? Wow, we got to think about that, right? How about reset? If they say reset, can we reset the app? So guess what? Nope. Nope. I'm gonna take out this whole block. That's my whole reset block right there, right? Uh-oh, what happened here? What? Oh yeah, that's a duplicate fire. Got it. Okay. What else could they say? What happens if they say add? Maybe they just want to say, okay, give them 5 tickets. Add. What's the most common number of tickets you guys receive in school? 5? 1? 2? 1? Okay, so I can do an if here. And I could just say, I don't know, we'd have to check this, see if it works. Add 1. And if they add 1, then we go back here to this add block, right? Do you guys want to learn how to do a procedure right now? Want to learn how to do a procedure? Thumbs up if you want to learn how to do a procedure. Thumbs down if you don't want to learn how to do a procedure. Well, you want to learn how to do, all right, let me show you how to do a procedure, okay? So procedure's in the procedure box, okay? So then you come over here and you say, add to count procedure. And I'm just going to type the word procedure out just so that you guys understand this is a procedure, okay? So what you do here is, do you guys see how I have all these 4 blocks here? And then down here, I want to reuse those 4 blocks again. See how I did this one here and I just had to copy and use all these blocks here? Okay. Well, guess what? You don't have to do that anymore. What you can do here is duplicate this, okay? Take these blocks and put them in the procedure, okay? Don't panic. I'm going to delete all these. Don't panic. I still have them. Okay. And now all I have to do is go up to my procedure, and here it is. So when I hit the count button, that count button's going to jump to there. Does that make sense? Now watch this. You ready? So I want to use this block again. So when I add 1, boom, I want to put this here. Guess what it does? It jumps back to this block right here. So it's called encapsulating, where you have to write it once, and then you could use it a million times. So let's go ahead and put this guy in a procedure right here, right? BTN reset. So let's write a procedure for reset. My reset. Okay? So then you take all this, you put it in reset. You go right here, you call reset. So when I want to hit the reset button, now, did it do the exact same blocks of code before? Did I have the exact same blocks of code before? Hello? Anybody? Yeah. Weren't these 4 blocks sitting up here? Yeah. So now, I'm just putting those blocks into procedure, and now guess what? Over here, I don't need these 4 anymore. What can I now put in here when I hit reset? All I have to do is call my reset. And now this block calls that one, this block calls that one, and it takes you to the same thing. So now you can just write code once and use it a million times. Working smarter, not harder, right? That's what computer scientists do. We work smarter, not harder. So yeah, I thought about it for a second. I wrote a procedure, boom. Now I can use that procedure over and over again. Okay. Thumbs up if you understand how to do a procedure. Was it that hard to do a procedure? No. So let's think about Pac-Man for a second. Do you think Pac-Man is going to move up, down, left, and right a lot? So every time you move up, down, left, and right, would you want to write code for that? Over and over and over and over again?
No.
No. So what can we do? You put it into a... What did we just learn? You put it into a procedure. You have a procedure for moving, handling the movement. Anytime you handle the movement, right? You figure out if they're moving up, down, left, or right. And then you work appropriately. Okay? Cool? Thumbs up on procedures. Okay, and then let me teach you this. Like, these guys will not be here until you take one of these out and write it and name it. Okay, so let's see. Do you guys see how there's two right here? There's only two, right? Watch this. Yada, yada, yada. Guess what's going to be in there now? My procedure called yada yada, right? You see how yada yada is in there now? So if I ever wanted to call yada yada, okay, which we could do that, right? Let's go call text to speech. Is she in here? Yep. So text to speech and then yada yada, okay? And then you just go get a text box, and we could say yada yada. Okay, so then down here, if else if, we're just having fun here. I'm just having fun here. Are you guys with me on this? Okay, if your person ever says yada, what are you going to call? What procedure am I going to call if they say yada? Yeah, I'm going to go to my yada procedure and call it, and then boom, it'll go do this block here. Who understands that? Who understands this? Okay. Was it that hard? No, not too bad. Okay. I'm done with voice. You guys can add more stuff to voice. Okay. I'm done with voice. I'll let that be kind of your upgrade day tomorrow. So voice is done. Bye. Oh boy. And we need to do submit. The buy button. Oh, we need to know. Here's the problem with the buy button. Or let me ask you this: what is the problem with the buy button right now in the developmental stage? What's the problem with the buy button? Mark. We don't have anything to buy. He's exactly right. So if you don't have anything to buy, you don't know what. Right. Or you don't know how much to spend. Right. If you don't know how much if I said, hey, this is for sale, right? But I'm not going to tell you how much it is. How much do you know you're going to spend on it? You don't know, right? You don't know that, okay? So you have to know the price first before you buy. You guys with me on that? Okay. If you walked into Justice and there was no price tags on it, you wouldn't know how much you were spending, right? Okay. Which happened to me the other day when I took my daughter to Pink. Has anyone ever been to Pink before? Hello, girls? Raise your hand. Who's been to Pink before? Oh my God. You have to be like a millionaire to walk in that store. My daughter got a hoodie. No, I'm sorry. 2 sweatshirts. One has a hood. The other one was a half zip. And she got matching pants for it. How much do you think my bill was? Now here we go. I didn't know the ticket price, right? How much do you think my bill was for 3 things? Olivia? 170? You're really close. It was $189. My jaw hit the floor. Yeah, you're right, Mark. That's what I said. For 3 things? Are you freaking kidding me? My jaw hit the floor. I said, honey, I think we need to go to Plato's Closet. They have Pink there. So we went to Plato's Closet, and she got the same, not the same thing, but she got a similar sweatshirt for $15. Now think about it, right? She can get 3 of those sweatshirts at Plato's Closet for the price of one $49 one over there. Matter of fact, it'd be less. You need to know the price, right? So do we know the price on this buy button? No, so guess what? We're in the beta stage here. We can't do this button. The only thing I'm going to do is, let's just have some fun. And when we click the buy button, we'll just have text-to-speech come up and say, thank you for your purchase. Something like that. Something arbitrary. Are you with me on that? Why am I not going to blocks? Hello? 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 Talk to me. Designer? Block. Why can I not get the blocks? Houston, we have a problem. So can you guys do that? Just click on your buy button, throw some text-to-speech in there, and say something like, thank you for your purchase. Who day? I don't know. Say something. Okay. Submit button. I'm not sure we're going to do the submit button either because that goes into the Fire database. And I can show you how to do that. Maybe we'll take some time and do that tomorrow. Anyone have an idea why I cannot? I'm going to refresh this page. It's like MIT has shut down for a second. Has this happened to anyone else? Anyone else having this problem? Can't get the blocks? What's that? It did? MIT is not perfect, so the only thing I can say is try to refresh every now and then. All right, so I'm back in blocks. Let's just go have some fun. We've got like 1 more minute left. BTN buy. There it is. Click it. There's our voice. And we're say, thank you for shopping with us. Okay, done. There's your BTN buy button. Tomorrow, we'll do the Fire DB. It'll be your upgrade day. Finished. Okay, I'll show you how to do the Fire DB tomorrow, the database, and we're done. Save it.